All right, Taylor, we're ready to record, and Chair, we're ready to begin the meeting at your direction.
Very good.
Recording.
This is Mr. Wildblood. I'm calling to order the Pima County Board of Adjustment District 1 meeting for March 1st, 2021. Since we have no flag available to us right here, I will skip the Pledge of Allegiance, and I will ask the recording secretary to read for the roll call, please.
Okay. Mr. Call.
Present.
Mr. Brass.
Present.
And Mr. Wildblood.
Present.
Mr. Chair, we have a quorum and the hearing can continue.
Very good. I will ask that the recording secretary read the first case, please.
Nick, you do this part, and then you can go into the staff report.
Perfect. All right. Yes, sir, Mr. Chair, that is P21 VA0001 St. Bede's Anglican Church, West Ina Road. St. Bede's Anglican Church, represented by Father Jim Byram, on property located at 1135 West Ina Road in the CR1 single residence zone, requests to increase the proposed monument sign height to 7.5 feet. Section 18.79.080 D4A of the Pima County Zoning Code requires a 6-foot maximum sign height. The property is a 1.1 acre parcel currently developed as a small Anglican church and located in northeast Pima County in a mixed residential area 1 mile east of the Foothills Mall. The area is predominantly medium to high density residential with several other mixed uses. Zoning consists of CR1, CR5, and TR zoning. Parcels range in size from 0.8 to 7 acres. There is direct access off of Ina Road for this parcel. An existing curb cut and driveway serves as the main entrance. The site has a historical development plan, COSW 90027, from April 30th, 1990, that established the primary use. There's also evidence of a historical sign permit dated April 21st, 2005. This specific permit granted a frontage identification sign, a main wall identification sign, and an incidental wall identification sign. Most recently, there has been a right-of-way work permit and a grading permit that has been applied for. There are no other outstanding permits or issues with the subject parcel. The applicant's variance request specifically involves the freestanding sign type regulations. The allowable maximum height for a freestanding sign per the Pima County Zoning Code is currently 6 feet. The applicant has requested for a 1.5 foot increase to a final sign height of 7.5 feet. Staff finds this a modest and an understandable request for the location of the parcel and placement of the sign. Staff recommends approval of the variance request. We have not received any comments from the public. Staff did receive one phone call, just kind of getting a feel for what the project and the request was for. Transportation and Flood Control shall review the permit at the time of permitting for the sign. And that will conclude staff's report. I can answer any questions. Thank you.
Okay, so the case description and the staff report were put directly together. Are the board members, Mr. Call and Mr. Brass, do you have any questions of staff?
I have one question.
Mr. Call, you speak first.
Okay. Mr. Chairman and Nick, question that I have is, as I look at the existing historical sign that is there, it is inside, it is in the right-of-way along Ina Road. It isn't on the property itself. Is that correct?
You're talking about the one that's towards it's on,
not the rear, on the west side of the driveway.
Right.
sign that is on the west side of the driveway is inside the Einer Road right-of-way and not specifically on the property of the applicant. Is that correct?
That I'm not 100% sure. I want to say that is, within the boundary of the site for the applicant.
Okay. It appears to me, I mean, obviously I wasn't out there with the surveyor, but it appears to me that wall or that segment that is by itself on the west side of that driveway is at least there's something that's there. I thought it was the sign. Maybe I'm wrong.
Mr. Call, I believe I know what you're referring to, and maybe the applicant can provide some insight. But is it kind of like a iron, like a very small incidental iron kind of type sign?
Yeah,
This is Father Jim Byram speaking, and yes, that would be correct. There is a very small sign that was there long before I became the priest there, and it is where the gentleman is suggesting it is, just on the west side at the very entrance into the driveway.
Correct.
Okay. And so I guess my question is is that the location that we're anticipating the new one to go? And if so, I assume the old one will go away?
Yes, that would be. I believe that would be correct. That small sign, if we have approval to build the sign we're looking to build, it will be set back closer to the church and not in that area. And it will therefore need to be removed.
Okay. Now, that said, then it appears that sign is there by it's been grandfathered in. It was there for a long time. And the removal of that sign, the placement of the new sign, even though you have additional height, is your visibility going to be, I guess that's really your choice, not ours, but it has me a little wondering if your visibility of that sign is going to be actually diminished as you stay entirely inside your property line, and thereby make it hard, even though you get the additional height, it might make it actually harder to see than if you were to arrange for upgrading that existing sign. That just is an observation. That's not trying to tell you what to do, but just an observation.
Well, thank you, sir, for that comment. We believe the new sign, because of its design, will be a far more appearing sign, not only for us, but for the public. And because of its size, the other sign that's got grandfathered in is only about 3 or 4 feet tall at most. And the printing is very small. It really doesn't function as such, other than it's good for us. We're trying to locate the church ourselves and turn in.
Okay. This is Mr. Wildblood. Mr. Brass, you had a question also.
Yes. The current sign is 6 feet high, but how much of that is crown on the road?
The current sign that is there now is only about 3 or 4 feet tall.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So, okay, that was my question.
All right. At this point in time, I'd like Mr. Byram to be sworn in and present his case.
Sure, Mr. Chair. If the applicant would, or whoever's going to speak, just give their name and address for the record, then they can proceed.
That's correct. Mr. Byram, did you copy that?
Yes. It's Reverend James Edward Byrum, Byrum. My current address is 135 County Road 723, Athens, Tennessee 37303. My wife and I had to move from Arizona January the 26th due to health issues for me. But I started this whole project and wanted to see it through.
Very good. Would the secretary swear him in, please?
Name and address is all we need. He can proceed.
Okay, very good. All right, Reverend Byron, if you would you please kind of review what you had just kind of said before and present your case to the board and to anybody listening?
Yes, thank you. St. Bede's, when I came there 3 years ago, had not really made much effort to try to grow the congregation. So we set out to do that. And one of the things that we decided to do was we were hoping to build a new church right on that same property, right next door to what we currently use as a church. And so we've been working with the Pima County Development Office on this and have a plan. And part of the initial part of it was to put in a brand new parking lot. Prior to this decision, we didn't have any paved parking. So we put in a very nice parking lot. And part of that was the removal of a sign that was there in order to create space for the parking lot to go in, which necessitated us to try to put in a church sign. And we've been working with Nicholas and Elva Pedrego, who've been very, very helpful to us in getting this application in order. The biggest concern we have, of course, is that in wanting to grow, we need visibility, and this sign, we believe, will provide that visibility. You know, the speed limit on Ina Road is 45 miles per hour, but I would guarantee you that a lot of the traffic travels by at 50 miles per hour or even more on Ina Road. And so whether you're traveling east on Ina Road or west on Ina Road, if you're traveling at a high rate of speed, even if you're within the speed limit, it's pretty easy to go past our little church. And so the hope was that this sign would not only give us the kind of visibility for people to be able to locate us, but the appearance of the sign has a very sort of Anglican style to it, an old English kind of print, lettering, so on and so forth. And we believe that image of the sign is almost as important as it being able to be seen. So we built a template and put it out there where we wanted it to be and found the spot we think that provides maximum visibility, whether you're traveling east or west, and that therefore this will be a very, not only a lovely sign to put in, but it will be a sign that enables our church to accomplish our goal of growing in size, because we're a very small congregation. So that's kind of, I guess, what I would say.
Okay, very good. Well, you've expanded on your original portion. And are there any questions by the board members of or to the applicant?
No
I
questions
just have one.
from Mr. Brass.
None from Mr. Brass, one from Mr. Cole. Mr. Cole?
Okay. The question that I have is of the applicant is, as you describe where specifically you're going to locate the sign, could you clarify that for me, please?
Yes. There is what I don't know, growing up we used to call it a culvert, but there's a pipe that runs under Ina Road for water issues, and our sign is best situated visibly where that culvert enters. And again, Pima County has been so helpful. They came out to solidify the bank of the wall that's with cement, and they put that in to prevent erosion of that bank. So it's going to be right in that particular spot.
Between the culvert and the wall, Bruce.
Okay, now I see, making sure that I'm understanding correctly here, there's the culvert you're referring to, is that the culvert that goes under your driveway? Or you said there's a culvert that goes under Ina Road?
Yes, under Ina Road.
Okay, so I don't know exactly where that is, but where your existing sign is, you're looking then relative to your driveway coming in. Where can you explain to me where exactly that is?
The new sign would be, I'm just guessing at this point, but I'm guessing it would be about 30 to 35 feet east of our west driveway edge.
Okay, and then just north of your existing parking?
Yes, correct. It would be situated between, the wall required a 3-foot pathway be put in. So it would be right at the edge of the pathway, and it would go out to where the edge of our property is.
Okay. So it's back near the parking, all still on your side, on the building side of that drainage that goes all along through Ina.
Yeah, it's though it's north of the wall that was put in.
Okay.
North of the wall and east of the driveway, between the culvert and the wall.
Yes.
Okay, I think I see where that's going to be. So, okay, thank you. That answers my question.
Thank you.
Okay, with those questions being answered, is there anyone besides Wendy Blackwell to speak in favor of this variance? And please, if Wendy or Mr. Blackwell, please restrict your time limit to 3 minutes, please.
As I mentioned before, I'm one of the current deacons at the church. We've been grateful for Father Jim and his leadership to get this started, and I'm just simply here present just so that I can pass along the details of the meeting to our vestry, and then kind of as we take over the project, make sure that everything is followed as the county has asked us to do.
Very good. Do you have anything else to add about quality of the sign or your concerns for the sign?
No, thank you.
At that point in time, is there anyone else on the line to speak in favor of this? Apparently not. I'll ask at this point in time Is there anybody on the line to speak against this sign? That being said, I'll ask somebody from the board to close the public hearing.
I move to close the public hearing. Second.
Mr. Brass has asked to close it, and it has been seconded by Mr. Call. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Board members, do you have any comments about this at all? Mr. Brass?
No.
Mr. Call?
In light of what it has been explained, I move to approve the sign in accordance with the documents presented by the staff. So I move to approve PV21VA00001 St. Bede's Anglican Church sign as proposed.
May I hear a second?
Second.
Mr. Brass has seconded. All in favor? Would the secretary read the roll call for the approval, please?
Sure, Mr. Chair. This is to approve case P21BA00001 as presented by the applicant and staff. Motion to approve. Roll call vote. Mr. Call?
Approve.
Mr. Brass?
Approve.
Mr. Chair?
Mr. Wildblood approves.
Mr. Chair, the motion to approve has been approved 3-0, so the variance has been approved.
Very good. At this point in time, I would ask that there are some questions I have of the board and also of staff. Number one, will we have a meeting next month?
Mr. Chair, we do not have any cases that are on the docket for next month.
If there are, you will notify us in advance.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Call, do you have anything further for staff? Or Mr. Brass, do you have anything further?
No.
I do not either.
I will ask for a motion to close the meeting and go on with...
I move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. It's been moved and approved to close the meeting. And we'll talk to you next month, possibly.
All right, guys.
All right.
Talk to you. Have a great day.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye. Hey, thanks, Taylor.
All right, you're welcome.